master teacher of physics at grade 9th and English channel, welcoming you all to yet another amazing session with me. Today we are going to unlock how well do you know your class 9th and whether this class 9th knowledge is going to help you in class 10th at all or not. So we will clear all your things like that कि 9th पढ़ना ज़रूरी है भी या नहीं, because every now and then we always think that 10th and 12th are the more important classes and 9th and 11th are in between of them, right? But is this actually the case? Let's figure this out with today's session, and there is a very cool surprise for all of you people at the end of the session along with an invitation. Now what is this invitation? Am I throwing a party? Ideally, you can say it is like the utopian word we always talk about कि जहाँ सब कुछ अच्छा होता है, we have made a Vitopian word. So you guys are welcome for 29th, that is today, and 30th. The Vitopia launch is happening and you will be super excited to know that now you can experience what happens at Vedantu, how students study at Vedantu right here on YouTube as well. So it is going to be an amazing experience. Do not miss this at all. And yes, just to give you a flavor of Vedantu, today I'm going to give you a super amazing thing in the quiz, that is in the assignment of this session. Now what you have to do, very simple, just go to the description of this video and there you will find a cool quiz link and you can do that whenever you want, compete with billion of people out there. You can just enjoy with your friends. So do that for sure. Do go with that quiz as an assignment, because सिर्फ अभी नहीं, बाद में भी हम आपका साथ नहीं छोड़ने वाले, right? So let's start with how well you know ninth. Is it bad? Is it not bad but not good at all? Is it good? Is it very good? Or is it excellent? The marker here for excellent is like zzz. So this is like my emoticon when I send someone I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling very good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling very good. And I'm feeling excellent. That is what it is if you feel like you lie in the excellent zone. Super amazing. Now why I'm saying so? Do you know why? Because all what you studied in grade 9 has a direct relationship with grade 11. So after grade 9, grade 10, you will be eventually going to grade 11. In grade 11, you will see, oh my god, I have studied this in 9th. Motion, force and laws of motion, Newton's laws, everything will come back to you with a deeper understanding, with a greater force. So you need to be prepared. Now this is something that I always say, if your foundation is weak, your building will definitely be shaky. But if your foundation is strong, you can definitely rock your grade 11. So if you think for IIT, for NEET, only 11th and 12th classes are important, but 11th and 12th classes are empty because grade 9 is directly related to grade 11 and grade 10 is directly related to grade 12. So if your base is not strong, you are not going to rock the competitive exam. So talking about 9th important थी या नहीं, या है या नहीं, अभी भी important है. अगर आप ये गलती करने वाले हो कि you are going to put your 9th standard books to aside to give it away to someone, don't do that. These books 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th are always going to be with you and it is going to help you always in the competitive exam. Now I just got this news some days back. Now all the central universities are also conducting a competitive exam. The nature of the exam will be of the CBSE level, but it will be competitive. Now percentage will not decide your career. Please be very sure that your 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th is going to be with you always, whichever exam you're going to go in for future, right? So when I talk about grade 9, grade 11 की preparation में grade 9 से शुरू हो जाती है, grade 12 की preparation grade 10 से शुरू हो जाती है. But is there any relationship between grade 9 and grade 10? Not directly. So what you do, see, in physics we have different branches, right? if I particularly talk about physics, generally when we start from our 8th to 9th, we get to know, okay, now I am really into the era of science. Isse pehle we are studying science but in a very superficial above manner, right? Now grade 9 के marks क्या matter करते हैं grade 10 में? The answer for that will be a big no. No. ग्रेड 9 के मार्क्स ग्रेड 10 में बिल्कुल मैटर नहीं करते हैं. ग्रेड 9 के कॉन्सेप्ट डायरेक्टली ग्रेड 10 में नहीं आते, बट दैट डजंट मीन ग्रेड 9 में अगर अच्छा नहीं भी करा है तो ग्रेड 10 ही अच्छा है, बिकॉज इट इज समथिंग दैट यू नीड टू नो. There are few things from grade 9 which is going to help you a lot in grade 10. And what is this? That is what we are going to talk today. Right? Now before I even jump to that, I'm going back to this. Is grade 9 related to grade 10 in any way? Now as I was saying, physics itself, like science ki 3 branches, you know, chemistry, physics and biology. You will further get to know, oh my god, each of these different sciences, different branches are further divided. Talking about physics doesn't just comprise of a word physics. It has mechanics, kinematics, it have lot of optics, it has wave, it has ray optics. Like those are also different. Atomic physics, nuclear physics, astrophysics. There are so many things. So physics की भी अपनी बहुत सारी branches out होने वाली हैं आगे जाकर. So when you talk about grade 9, it is mostly about mechanics, in which you study in that, and a bit part of sound which comes as waves. Right? When you go to the other part, so let's talk about 10th standard, it deals mostly with optics and electromagnetism. Now when I talk about grade 9 and grade 10 are directly related, I said, and I am very truthful, no, they are not directly related. But that doesn't mean that they do not have any relation at all. So what is it that some things that we have done in 9 that is going to help me in grade 10? Am I prepared to move to grade 10? Am I ready to do that? Do not do that mistake of throwing away my books. Now I'm done with it. 9th has nothing to do with me. There are always going to be many of the concepts that you will be given back the concept of grade 9. Now giving you an example over here. Few things from grade 9 which will help you in grade 10. Number 1. Mastering the grade 9 will help you in solving the numericals. Now when I talk about grade 9 and grade 10, both are filled with lots of concepts and lots of numerical learning, right? Now talking about grade 10 that you are jumping into right now is also full of numericals. There are 4 chapters each in grade 9 and grade 10, right? You guys already know this. For physics, number of chapter in grade 9 are also 4, number of chapter in grade 10 are also 4, plus 1 if CBSE decides to keep those extra chapters that they have rationalized during the COVID time, right? So initially there were 5 chapters each in 9th and 10th, but right now as per the rules, as per the guidelines, CBSE have reduced it to 4 forever. So which is a good thing or a bad thing, we'll discuss it later, but for sure they are following the suit for 9th and 10th. So if you learned the technique of time management in 9th standard, then 10th standard time management will also be handy for you. You do not have to do anything other than what you have not done before. The number of chapters are not increasing. Now if I talk about compared to 9th and 10th, 11th and 12th, the number of chapters for physics only increases from 4 to 16. Then your world will be a different part. Right now 9th and 10th follow in suit, and you have to be following the same pattern, or better to improvise your pattern which you have been following in 9th standard if you lacked in anywhere in that point, right? Now talking about this first thing, solving numericals. There are many numericals in 9th grade. Motion, force and laws of motion, gravitation, work and energy. My goodness, it's filled with numericals. For grade 10, I'll give you a good news. Your first chapter has some numericals, that is light. It has numericals related to mirror formula, magnification, lens formula and magnification and power. And when you go to the second chapter, which is not rationalized if I'm taking, you might get some numericals on eye defects. Third chapter, which is electricity, also has numericals which is filled with lots of concepts. And the fourth chapter, magnetic effect of electric current in 10th grade, doesn't have much of numericals, but it has much of application based question. So in all, your numerical solving tricks, tips, your numerical solving ways, what you have learnt in 9th is definitely going to be with you in grade 10, because numerical se पीछा नहीं छूट सकता है. Grade 10 also is filled with numericals, right?
बच्चों के मार्क्स जितने कम आते हैं पापा का वॉल्यूम उतना ही बढ़ जाता है। ये होती है पढ़ाई। पर कभी सोचा है कि मार्क्स बढ़ाने की जिम्मेदारी सिर्फ बच्चों की ही क्यों?
अब वेदांतु मार्क्स बढ़ाने की जिम्मेदारी लेगा, वरना आपकी पूरी फीस वापस।
Talking about the second thing, when you talk about you learned in 9th the graphs, is the graph going to come back in my 10th grade? Yes. Graphs or the basic mathematical tools that you have been using in 9th, they are not going to leave you in 10th. Basic mathematics is going to be there. Now for example, I'll give you, you have studied in graphs, the slope for a dt graph gives me the velocity. Now in your 10th standard, you will be still meeting the graph where you might be drawing the graph not between D and T, but rather between V and I, that is potential difference and the current. What does the slope of this graph will give you? So if you know the concept of slope, you can relate it directly to the 10th grade. Talking about one more concept, work, energy, power. You guys have got the concept of power, right? Definitely you guys have got the concept of power. It is the amount of work done per unit of time or rate of doing work. The same concept will come back but in a different dress up. Now when I say dress up, let's say Bhavna Mam always sits here wearing a t-shirt, right? So one day I just feel like wearing a sari or let's say a blazer. You will see me, but you will see a different version of me. Now power ka concept is not going to change from 9th and 10th. Please be very clear, your science is not changing. Since you have started studying science have just got deeper and deeper. You are getting to know much more now, but the basic concept remains the same. So power ka concept will come back in grade 10, but in a different clothing, that is when we talk about electric power. So we are going to figure out the same versions of different concepts. Different version of same concept. Right? So do remember what you have studied in 9th. भूल नहीं जाना है बचपन का प्यार, right? Because it is going to come back in grade 10 in different versions. You need to be prepared for that. Time management we have already talked about. If you have already made your plan for 9th standard how to go for physics and it worked out well, you can follow the same. It's tried and tested by you yourself. If you found there were some loopholes, you can go back and figure out how to go and get better, improvise, right? This is what is always important. So never miss on those points. Fourth point. Now grade 9 is actually an important bridge between your regular school life and being mature. Why? 8th तक ठीक है, हम लोग अच्छे से पढ़ते हैं. I know you guys put your heart and soul. But how easy it was to score in 5th and 6th grade as compared to 9th. Remember that time when you used to be on the top of the school कि भाई मैं तो सब अच्छा करता हूँ, मेरी मम्मी मुझसे बहुत खुश है. बट जैसे जैसे बच्चे बड़े होते हैं, when they go to higher grades, why it becomes difficult? Why out of 10 now only 2 or 3 can be are able to pull that? Because we miss on to the major point, the major turning points in our life. 9th grade is actually that turning point. Now why I'm saying it is a turning point, why not 10th? Ideally 10th grade gives you the power to choose. It is after 10th that you start taking your own decision. You start taking, okay, this will be my career path. I want to do this, so I'll take this stream. I take it totally. But to move to that thing, you have to take a bridge. So it's like from one place to another place, it's a mountain, 2 mountains to climb, but there is a bridge connecting them. And grade 9 acts that. Because now you are actually getting to taste the real flavors of all of these subjects, and that's where you get to know, okay, this is something that I want to do. 9th gives you that base. So it's an important bridge between your regular school and being mature enough to make decisions that will shape the rest of your future. So 9th grade बिल्कुल भी मुश्किल नहीं, बिल्कुल भी इजी नहीं, पर ज़रूरी बहुत, और उसको भूलना नहीं. ठीक है? Do not just forget that once it's over, it's over. Study, see, knowledge is not about learning, putting it out in the exam and forgetting. No, it's not about that. Knowledge is something that stays with you. What stays with you is your knowledge. What is being emptied out, that was never yours. So keep it, because it is going to help you. Now here are some of the hints that I want to give. You guys have got circular motion, right? You remember circular motion? I have already told you where power comes into picture. So indirectly सही, but 9th और 10th हाथ मिलाकर तो चलते हैं. So circular motion में you guys know that when a body goes in a circular motion, the direction at any given point can be told by drawing a tangent at that point, right? Now this tangent phenomena comes back in the phenomena when you will study the magnetic effects of electric current, because tangent to the magnetic field lines give you the direction of the magnetic field. So ideally anything which is curved, we can draw a tangent at that point and we can get the direction. So 9th and 10th related, quite related, right? Talking about the concept of power, you already got it. What you have got power in 9th will be the same in 10th, but there will be a new version of it. We will be talking specifically about electric power, right? Talking about potential energy, right? Formula yaad hai na? So when you talk about potential energy, we talk about potential energy, and there will be a new term coming out there, electric potential and potential difference. Now to actually understand potential difference, we can take the analogy of potential energy. You know, water to be rising or like falling, we need a pressure difference. Water flows when there is a pressure difference, right? That is, the energy of potential energy of water at the higher and the lower point is less. On the other hand, when we talk about potential difference, it is the same thing when you talk about how does a charge flow from one point to another point. So we are going to meet the similar concept but in new versions of that. तो एक jazz है और एक harmonium है, right? Do remember that. But this is the same. They both belong to the same music. They both belong to science. So 9th की books बहुत संभाल के रखनी है. It's very very important. Their concepts you have done there will be helpful. And yes, 10th standard के लिए all the best. अब मैंने कहा था कि एंड में एक सरप्राइज जरूर दूंगी. तो सरप्राइज ये है कि जैसे वी हैव हेल्प्ड यू इन योर 9th grade to cover the whole syllabus, we are again back with a bang on thing to cover your entire syllabus for grade 10 with revisions of the entire syllabus. And you know, you get the handwritten notes of your teachers. Your doubts get instantly solved within the class. Can you believe it? Can you just believe it? I cannot. Like, I have so many things that how can my doubts get solved within the class, because when the teacher is teaching, I am so very afraid to ask anything. So ideally you do not have to disturb the teacher. There are two teachers always inside the class. One is the master teacher taking care of your concept, and one is the class teacher always looking for your doubt clearing. So people, think about it. Not one but rather two teacher advantage will be here. There will be concept covered, topic wise, assignments are there. मतलब पूरी preparation full on होगी. So mock test दो, improve करो. That's what you need to do. And when to do, I'll tell you. See, when you are in your grade 9, you have started maybe at the very beginning, in the middle, or at the very end. Which is the best time to start? I guess the very beginning. जो शुरू से शुरू करेंगे, एकदम साथ में चलेंगे, they will be doing the best. So I'll tell you, there are various plans that you can pick from, and what is this plan for? That is very important. Okay, what is this plan for? Now the plan is, we have to ace each and every subject. सिर्फ physics नहीं पढ़ना है, chemistry भी पढ़ना है, maths भी पढ़ना है, biology भी करना है, social science भी करना है, oh my goodness, English भी तो है. तो we have lots of subject. Now let's say I have to go to physics का tuition, chemistry का tuition, maths का भी, bio का भी, फिर social भी है, English भी है, so many tuitions. If I take on a standard version, let's say you pay $1,000 per month for a tuition, right? 1,000 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1,000 into 6, I am paying 6,000 rupees per month for all of my subjects, right? Let's say if I am taking all the tuitions, you might be saying कि मैम मैं तो नहीं social science पढ़ता, मुझे ज़रूरत ही नहीं लगती, but end में जाकर लगती है यार, कोई पहले से बता देता तो it would have been easier. So कोई बात नहीं, let's consider you are taking, ठीक है? Now let's say for the whole year, 2 महीने छुट्टी में गुजर गए, एग्जाम्स में गुजर गए, इधर उधर हो गए, so you are taking tuitions for 10 months, let's say, ठीक है? Now 6,000 into 10 कितना होगा? Your answer will be simple, 60,000. Very very easy. Maths तो बड़ी सही है हमारी, है ना? Now problem ये है 60,000 is actually a huge amount, right? Doesn't it sound to be a very huge amount for the whole year? Now if I say the same thing doing all your subject with your master teacher, favorite master teacher, with your doubt solving within the class, with all the assignment, class notes and mock test and thousands of micro courses, everything with lots of added stuff, because we nurture है, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. If I give you let's say 50, नहीं 30, नहीं 20, नहीं कितना 28,000 1 year, live classes, assignment, test series, notes, doubt solving, 28,000. But is it? No. If you remember my code, the code is BA Pro. If you remember this code, then you can get the same course without doing anything, putting my code BA Pro with 10% of discount. So 28,000 में 10% का discount होते ही the cost becomes only 22,400. So ideally I said 20,000, na? It's very near. There is one more plan that you can pick from. Now what is that plan? That comes with an added thing. That added thing is, let's say you are that kind of a student who doesn't get doubt in the class but doubts when you self-study. And all those doubts कहाँ जाएंगे? You can ask your doubts on the mobile app if you want to go with the second plan, which is Classic. Now first one was light. This is Classic, and Classic gives you with 39,000. But again, BA Pro code याद रखना, it will come down to only and only 31,200. And the last one is the plus one, which stands for 50,000 but not 50,000, because the code is still BA Pro and the cost come down from 50 to 40,000 only. Right? Now ये 40,000 पे कैसे आता है BA Pro के साथ? But इसमें मिलता क्या है? Plus में क्या फायदा है? The benefit of plus is that you get a personal mentor. Now what does a mentor do? A mentor is going to help you. A mentor is going to guide you. A mentor is going to take care of your strengths and your weaknesses. A mentor is your next best friend after your parents, your teachers and your guide. This is what you have to look for. I would have loved this feature if in my time it would have been there, but नहीं था तो कोई बात नहीं. You guys have it. Do not miss on this. So this is something that I'm telling. Each and every price that you just saw, 28,000 to only 22,400, 30,000 to only and only how much it was? मैं भी भूल गई हूँ. Oh, 39,000 to only 31,200 with my code, that is Classic. And the last one is the plus, which is 50,000 से सीधा 40,000 with my code BA Pro. So use this code na, that is how you can prepare for 9th to 10th and definitely rock it. Right? That was an amazing time, people, with you. Thank you very much. And till the time we meet next, keep smiling, keep rocking and keep learning. Bye-bye. Take care.
बच्चों के मार्क्स जितने कम आते हैं, पापा का वॉल्यूम उतना ही बढ़ जाता है. ये होती है पढ़ाई. पर कभी सोचा है कि मार्क्स बढ़ाने की जिम्मेदारी सिर्फ बच्चों की ही क्यों?
अब वेदांतु मार्क्स बढ़ाने की जिम्मेदारी लेगा, वरना आपकी पूरी फीस वापस.